You're looking at 3 layers of absolute deliciousness with these pumpkin cheesecake bars. My wife just got done making these for some birthday festivities here. We're going to show you exactly how she made this every step of the way. And you can also check out all the ingredients listed in the description below. Julie got things rolling here, no pun intended, by crushing 1 cup of graham crackers and placing that into a bowl. And as you can see here, you want to make sure this is nice and finely crushed. It looks like Julie's coming up just a bit short of 1 full cup, so just a little bit more crushing and then we're good to go. There we go, that's looking much better. 1 full cup. Now Julie is cutting 2 tablespoons of butter and melting that in a microwave. Now she's adding 2 tablespoons of sugar into that melted butter, and right after that she's going to add in the crushed graham crackers. Now we're going to mix all of these items together fully in this small bowl. Maybe could have used a slightly bigger bowl here, but it's working out fine. We're going to speed this up just a bit just so you can see how fully she does mix this together. This was about 45 seconds of mixing, but just wanted to stress you want this to be fully mixed for a nice consistent crust. Julie is spraying an 8x8 inch baking dish here with cooking spray, and then immediately pouring in the mixture for the crust. Then you want to evenly spread that across the bottom for a nice consistent thickness on that crust. And then she presses that crust down firmly into the pan so it's nice and firm while it's getting ready for baking. She slowly works her way around that dish and uses that spoon to push that down. And once she gets that to a pretty consistent thickness, she does press it down with her hands, and boy, I hope she does wash her hands beforehand. Yeah, I know she does. That looks pretty good. Now let's start preheating that oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And she's getting her cooling rack ready to go for when it's done baking. The oven is fully heated up, so we're going to bake this for 9 minutes at 325 degrees. And just like that, our 9 minutes is up, so she's going to place that on the cooling rack and work on the other 2 layers while that cools down. Now we've got ourselves 8 ounces of cream cheese, which is going into a large mixing bowl. And that is followed up with 1/3 cup of sour cream into the same bowl. And then 1/3 cup of sugar. And now we have 2 teaspoons of flour. And our last item into the bowl is 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and maybe just a touch more. That's alright, that doesn't hurt anything. And at this point, Julie's going to grab that hand mixer and mix this nice and thoroughly for about 30 to 45 seconds. That's looking really good right there. There's 1 egg going into another small bowl, and let's beat that egg while it's in that separate bowl. And once we've got that fully beaten, we want to pour that into our other bowl that has the other mixture, and then we're going to use that hand mixer to again mix this fully in. And this is a good time to make sure your oven is still preheated to 325 degrees. Alright, let's get mixing again. And now I think it's time to start adding in some pumpkin flavoring. We're going to pull out 3/4 cup of this filling here, and then add that into another mixing bowl, making sure we get as much of that goodness into this bowl as we can. And right on cue, there's our pumpkin. We're going to add 1/2 cup of this canned pumpkin into that new bowl that has the 3/4 cup of the filling. And we're also going to add a tablespoon of packed brown sugar into that same bowl. And now it's time for some more mixing. Julie's going to use her rubber spatula and fully mix these all together. And there we go. Now Julie has grabbed the bowl of the plain batter and she's going to evenly spread that out over the crust. And again here she likes to use her rubber spatula just to fully mix that all the way to the edges and making that as even as possible. And you can see she's being a little careful here just to avoid getting too many of the crust crumbs into this layer. Oh, and there's one little sneaky guy there. She's going to flip that back over where he belongs. She continues to rotate that dish to that final corner here. And this last corner had a little bit of a stick here as well on that crust, but she was able to save that with her finger and make sure that that layer stayed intact. And for the final touches on this layer, she's grabbed a frosting knife just to fully even this out across the full layer. 2 layers done, 1 to go. And our pumpkin batter is next. That goes right over the top of the previous layer. And certainly if you're still with us on this video, we'd invite you to subscribe to our channel to see more content like this. And certainly give us a thumbs up, and we'd love to hear your comments below. And this top layer you can see goes on just a bit easier than the first layer. You're not having to worry about all those crust crumbs getting into your mixture, so this goes pretty quickly. That looks good. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, you can see all those beautiful layers. We're getting ready to bake this now. And our oven is fully preheated to 325 degrees. We're going to stick this on the middle rack, and we're going to bake this for 20 minutes at 325. And after that 20 minutes, we're going to take this out and check this with the baking stick. And a little bit more stuck to the stick than we would like, so we stuck this in for another 5 minutes. And after that 5 more minutes, things were looking really good. It sticks a little bit here, but all it needs to do is be mostly set. At this time, you want to stick that in your refrigerator and let this cool for at least 1 hour. And then you are certainly ready to serve. We did find that it's easier to cut that first row just by sliding that spatula across the bottom. And as we cut in the other direction, just kind of push that spatula down and cut each piece individually straight down. And then they scoop out pretty easily. So now for the video, we actually stacked them up just like this, and we actually found that they didn't stick together very much, so if you wanted to do something like that, it does generally seem like they won't stick together. And one more final touch that we did here was we sprinkled some cinnamon right across the top. But if you have other topping ideas, we'd love to see them in the comments below. And be sure to check out another one of our videos from our channel by clicking right up here. We're so happy that you joined us today. Be sure to click that subscribe button for future videos like this. Until next time, God bless.